MDR explained in a few minutes. Imagine how things would look if your team included a group of hardcore, seasoned cybersecurity professionals. They'd handle all the alerts, uncover all the threats, and stop all the attacks. Managed Detection and Response, MDR, delivers this kind of dream scenario. If you've ever had a problem with poor password hygiene, social engineering, or even a well-executed phishing attack, then you know that turnkey security solutions can't protect your assets and people from threat actors using legitimate credentials. For enterprises, the solution was simple. Build a dedicated Security Operations Center, SOC, staffed with experts who could work around the clock to manage tools, identify threats, and stop attacks. But for most organizations, investing millions of dollars in security each year is not an option. This is why managed services emerged. There were managed security options before MDR, but they only increased alert fatigue. Organizations would still need to jump in, investigate the alert, and stop the attack. MDR goes beyond a few people sitting at their computer forwarding every alert to you. Many organizations now prefer MDR because it provides 24/7 security monitoring staffed by experts. You'll have access to dedicated cybersecurity professionals with deep knowledge and experience of the threat landscape, your environment, the technology, and the associated telemetry. They'll investigate every alert. They'll dig into any activity that seems suspicious. They'll take care of all the false positives that distract your team from the bigger picture. When they find a true positive, they'll either take care of it via pre-approved actions or notify you with detailed information on the threat and the best action for remediating it quickly. Armed with this rapid investigation, you're going to stop threats that would have taken just minutes to hours to exfiltrate data, deploy ransomware, or steal intellectual property. But it goes beyond stopping attacks as they appear. It's also about preventing future attacks with detailed reports, including incident impact, root causes, and threat intelligence. MDR gives you the tools to move to a proactive security model swiftly. Using multiple threat intelligence feeds and field-based experience, MDR staff build detailed knowledge of emerging threats and the techniques used to attack organizations. This means MDR security analysts know what an attack will look like, what behavior to search for, and how to stop attacks earlier in the threat lifecycle. Prepared with this knowledge, security analysts can identify vulnerabilities in your environment, hunt for threats, and help prepare you for a possible attack. All of this is really great, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Bitdefender MDR, for example, is focused on preventing business impact. This means dedicating resources to threat detection and analysis. We know what attacks against your tools, organization, and industry will look like. And when we see these indicators of an attack, we know how to respond. How do we do it? We build a detailed threat model tailored to your organization and industry. Starting with a questionnaire and weeks of monitoring, our baseline provides an ideal starting point for recognizing anomalous behavior. Our researchers build customized threat intelligence for our security analysts. Our all-source intelligence includes data feeds, customer information, and research into threat actors, their tools, their techniques, and ongoing campaigns. All this data is parsed, analyzed, and processed to enhance our knowledge of the adversary landscape and the active threats relevant to your organization. Our Cyber Intelligence Fusion Cell, CIFC, then builds hunting packages, providing all the information analysts need to identify an attack. The analysts can use this information to search for indicators of compromise in your environment. If they find an ongoing attack, they can remediate it using pre-approved actions. You'll get up-to-date flash reports covering the reasons why an attack is suspected, the impact of the attack, and the actions being taken to stop the attack. When the attack is remediated, we send an after-action report with all the details: hashes, signatures, indicators of compromise and attack. Then we undertake intensive monitoring of your environment to validate that all backdoors have been slammed shut and threat actors have no persistence mechanisms in place. We can identify these mechanisms because, every 2 weeks, we dive into those small changes that don't trigger alerts. We call this risk-based threat hunting, and with your help, we use it to validate activities and behavior to keep the baseline relevant to help identify future attacks. Via the MDR portal, you'll get a weekly dashboard report that shares some of the data we recorded in your network. Each month, we'll send you a complete report focused on trends, not just the number of alerts and endpoints, but also threats you should know about. But all of this must be built on an advanced technology platform, not just so your analysts can focus on the sophisticated attacks, but also stop some simple but unknown attacks from sneaking past security controls and impacting your organization. That's why Bitdefender MDR uses the award-winning prevention capabilities of the Gravity Zone XDR platform as part of the technology stack. Our platform includes machine learning and behavioral heuristics for an additional layer of protection against attacks like 0 days and repackaged malware. It also gives our analysts access to processed data generated by a wide sensor ecosystem installed on millions of endpoints worldwide. And this is how MDR services work, combining people, processes, and technology to provide genuine 24/7 proactive security for organizations of any size.